Joining me now is Dr. Karama Neal. She is the new president of Southern Bancorp Community Partners, which is a 501c3 development finance organization and fund that is tied to Southern Bancorp. I'm going to let you explain all of this to me there. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And welcome to the program. I've been teasing throughout the show that you have a background in genetics and molecular biology.
I do.
Which I don't normally associate with banking and community development. So you're going to have to explain to me how all that comes together.
Yeah, so I started actually my research career at UAMS here in Little Rock, and as a high school student, and then went on to college and grad school, did my PhD in genetics at Emory University, and had a career in bioinformatics and bioethics for a number of years. And on the side was always doing things that were much more aligned with sort of community development, human development kinds of issues. And so when my family and I decided to move back home to Arkansas after 18 years away, a little too long, I really sort of took a hard look and said, what am I doing for free? And maybe I could do that full time. And so when the position came open at Southern, it seemed like a really good fit, and it certainly has been.
Yeah. So how do you apply what you know in genetics and molecular biology? How does this translate?
It's not a direct application.
Okay, so.
But it is, I think the sort of skills that you get when you have a research scientist, the sort of analytical skills, the problem identification skills, kinds of ways you problem solve, I think can be really handy and have really come in handy. It's a different approach, but I think it's one that's been useful.
Tell me a little bit about the relationship between Southern Bancorp Community Partners and Southern Bancorp, and you might have to put a little definition of Southern Bancorp in there for some people that don't understand. It's a different kind of financial institution.
So there are really three entities that we talk about. Southern Bancorp Bank, which is a full-service bank. Southern Bancorp Inc., which is a bank holding company. Darren Williams is the CEO there. John Olamy is the CEO of the bank. And then Southern Bancorp Community Partners. And those three entities all have their own boards of directors, and they were all founded at a similar time about 30 years ago. They work collaboratively. We have overlapping board members. We're co-located in many places. But we are the nonprofit, Southern Bancorp Community Partners, where I am, is a legally separate entity. And we all work together. And all three entities are community development financial institutions. We're certified by the U.S. Treasury to provide a certain number of our services at a minimum in underserved areas, in economically distressed areas. And
so tell me what you do. What will Community Partners do?
So Community Partners has done and will continue to do really three big items. One is lending. So as a financial institution, lending is a core part of what we do. We want to make loans to people that might not otherwise be able to get loans. We want to provide access to capital. That's what we were founded for. We also do a lot of financial development services. These are the kinds of activities that help get people ready for banking, ready to get a bankable loan. So things like credit counseling, housing counseling, financial education. We do free tax prep through the IRS VITA program, Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, a number of those kinds of services. And then the third bucket is we do some public policy advocacy work. We want to create an environment in the places where we work in Arkansas and Mississippi that allows people to, empowers them really to create their own financial future, to be more economically mobile.
Give me an example of maybe one of the big success stories there, one of them that you like to highlight that would maybe help put into context in real life, how all of that works.
I'll give two real quick ones. One is really, highlights collaboration in some of the coalitions that we've been in. We were a part of the Payday Lending Coalition in Arkansas that helped really get the constitutional usury limit enforced in Arkansas. And so we're really pleased to do that. We recognize that when you have people have access to affordable capital to meet their needs when they need loans that are affordable. That's really important, and having them not be affordable can be a real damage to those families.
And they were preying on a lot of lower income folks with those payday loans.
Absolutely. So that's really, again, what our organization was founded for. It's part and parcel of what we do. So we're really pleased to be in a coalition of folks who help get that done. And so I think that sort of speaks to sort of the environmental work that we do. And then on an individual level, I think we have a number of really wonderful stories of people who have saved, particularly for houses. And it's just wonderful to hear people talk about, I started saving with $10. And when I started saving $10, I realized I could save $20. And soon I had a down payment. And I realized that my rent was going to be more than what my mortgage was going to be. Mm-hmm. And now once they're able to buy that home, sometimes with the help of our down payment assistance programs or our housing counseling programs or our mortgage lending programs, then they're able to have an asset that is meaningful to them in the immediate term and then also in the long term for themselves and for their families. So
So Karama, so now you've got a new title now. I'm not sure that means that you'll be doing anything much different than what you were
I have
doing
more
before.
responsibility.
But tell me where you plan on going. What are some initiatives? What are some things that I guess you are personally going to bring in terms of
Sure.
goals and objectives to the new role?
So we're really thinking a lot about really three areas. Impact, we want to make sure that the work that we're doing has a sustainable, replicable kind of impact on people's lives, that the work that we're doing is meaningful to people, and that's what they want to have to help them meet their goals. We want to work on scale. We want to make sure that we can serve as much of the need as possible as is out there in the places where we work, and so we're not quite there yet. There's always so much more to do, so we want to work on scale. And we want to work on innovation. We want to make sure that as we're looking at the data and the research around behavioral economics and how people deal with money, that we're designing our programs and our projects and our products in ways that reflect that kind of data. It's more of an evidence-based approach.
All right. Well, it's good stuff there. I failed to mention, too, you're on the Federal Reserve Bank Little Rock branch, too, aren't you there? How's that been?
It's been really fun. So my PhD is not in economics, so, so I certainly have learned a lot. It's been really fun. It's been a real joy, not only to sort of meet the folks at the Fed and some of the economists there and understand more about what they do to help regulate our economy in the country, but also to talk to a lot of the business leaders and others across our state in the reports that we have to do to the Fed to help understand what the economic status of our state is. So that's been really fun.
And with that policy advocacy we were talking about, I can expect to see you up at the state capitol maybe
I look forward to it.
All right.
Indeed.
So thank you so much.
It's been a real
here.
pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. And that is all for today's Talk Business and Politics. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Roby Brock. We will see you next time.